Brendan Schaub, Toronto has some good memories for you. Of course, you had that win over Matt Mitrione at UFC 165. What's it like to be back here?
I love Toronto, man. I love Toronto, and for whatever reason, whenever I come to Toronto, good things happen, man. And I'm here with Showtime, part of the cast, the pre- and post-fight show on this insane world tour with Mayweather and Conor, so life is good.
And how would you score the pressers if we were doing it by rounds? It seemed like Floyd won yesterday, but today it looked like Conor sort of took over.
I give Floyd 10-9 yesterday. Conor had a 10-8 out the gate here, but Floyd fully redeemed himself, brought some heat, but I'll still give it to Conor 10-9.
Yeah, were you surprised with the Irish presence here in Toronto supporting Conor? It seemed pretty kind of crazy.
No, not really. I feel like the thing is, I'm so familiar with Conor, I kind of expect this. I keep telling the Showtime guys, I'm telling you, man, every city we go to, it's going to get worse and worse. Yeah. Conor has transcended the sport, and he's the biggest star we've ever seen. So when you get to New York, it's going to be 99% Conor McGregor. When you get to freaking London, it's going to be 100% Conor. That's a skip, a hop, and a jump away from Ireland. So, I think a lot, especially the old boxing heads and boxing experts, are learning how big of a deal Conor McGregor is.
Yeah, for sure. We just had a Bellator a couple weeks ago, and Heather Hardy making her transition over to MMA. What were your thoughts on that? Seeing a boxer come over to MMA.
Yeah, with Heather Hardy, I think she has a great story. I told Bellator, I told Scott Coker this. I think it's their job to tell her story. That's one hell of a story, especially in female fighting and with her boxing background. And to me, it was the fight of the night, Madison Square Garden, that Bellator pay-per-view. She kicked off the Spike free card. So, Heather Hardy has a huge future, man.
Yeah, and are you going to be doing more work for Bellator in the future?
Yeah. I think Bellator, Showtime, life is good, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're very busy. You got the 2 successful podcasts, you got the Showtime gig. How has it been with Showtime? You've done the analyst work before, but this is obviously for a huge network.
Yeah, to be honest, I've never seen a machine like Showtime. With Espinoza running it, and working with Morrow and working with Paulie and Brian. Yeah. I've never been part of something just so professional, and they make my job.
How much you learned from Morrow? A guy who's been in the game for so long.
Yeah, I worked with Morrow at Bellator, and I worked with Goldie there too. So I'm around the greats, man. I feel like anyone could do this game.
Yeah. How's life been after fighting? I mean, you've been very successful doing this. Do you feel like a lot of fighters can kind of follow your path? It's tough, I know.
Easier said than done. I get a lot of them reaching out to me and stuff like that. It's that same work you put into your craft and mixed martial arts, you got to bring to the real world. And for me, I've been super fortunate, and with the podcast, my stand-up, my sold-out tours, stuff like that. I have 7 sold-out shows in Dublin, 2 sold-out theaters in London and Manchester. So I don't know, man. Life is crazy. I don't think anyone can predict this, and I just keep going. And what can you do?
Yeah. What is your schedule like? I guess the rest of this tour, and then just stand-up from here on in your podcast.
The rest of this tour, I get home next week. I'll have my 3 podcasts: Fighting the Kid, the Big Round Breakdown, and then I'll have I kick off my USA tour, Arizona, Salt Lake City, then I go to Toronto, Detroit, so Chicago, and then I'll go home for a day, then I fly out and I go London, 2 shows in London, 1 show in Manchester, 7 shows in Dublin.
Oh, that's crazy. Do you find for stand-up, it's kind of like fight camp in a way, you really have to prepare and kind of go out there and stuff? Is it similar in preparation?
Yeah, reps, and same with my MMA career. There seems to be a common theme here. I get thrown into the sharks, man. If you don't swim, you get eaten alive. So I'm at the Comedy Store, man. That's my home in Los Angeles. And I'm so lucky because, I follow guys like Rogan, D'Elia, Dan Cook, Brian Callen. The list goes on and on of the who's who at the Comedy Store. So that's my home, man. That's where I get my reps, and it's a magical place. And I'm so goddamn lucky, man. It's insane.
Best of luck with the rest of the tour and everything else.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man.